Hi everyone, so big news, massive news for me. Obviously those of you that know me know I am a little bit of a Schumacher fan. So Schumacher have now confirmed what we've all known and what I've known for a bit. The Cougar 2 Works is coming out back out. So this is mine, this is an original. Obviously you can tell by the chassis this is no shelf queen, but it is a nice example of the standard Cougar 2 Works. And obviously with the re-release coming out, it was very interesting to see if it was going to be a true replica basically, and it absolutely is. I think Schumacher have absolutely smashed everything out of the water in terms of re-re's this year. So for me, I'm putting the Cougar 2 Works as the re-re of this year, above anything that Associated have brought out. So the big thing, the price point, £320. So it's a lot less than what the RC10s have been. And in terms of, it's pretty much got everything on it. There are some upgrades, and I'm going to come to some of those in a minute. But if you've got a Cougar Classic, you don't have to go out and ditch it. You can just get some upgrades for it straight off the bat now. So probably the biggest one, and it's one that I didn't think was going to happen, is that we are getting the alloy roller drive shafts. So those are the alloy roller drive shafts, and they are a telescopic. Try to get it in camera. So it moves up and down. It was basically to give less friction when the car's being driven. So obviously back in the day you had to get your battery last 5 minutes, so anything that would help. They look uber cool, that's the main thing for me. The chassis, obviously it's going to be the same chassis as the Cougar Classic, but it is cut away. So basically, don't think you can see it, but on the sides, just on the inside at the front, it's not going to show up, but basically the chassis has been cut away to allow the arms to come on. And on the arms as well, obviously these are bespoke to the Cougar 2 Works and the Boss Cat Works, and that's along with the rear hub as well. So you can get the arms, you can get the hubs, you can get the alloy roller drive shafts. The chassis is anodised in purple, the motor plates are anodised in purple, and the transmission, looking at it, and I'll put some little screenshots up at the moment, it looks like it is the actual Pro transmission that came with the Cougar 2, and the slipper is the same. So those of us that have struggled with parts for these slippers, we should now see everything available, which is absolutely brilliant news, because you can run these now to your heart's content. You've obviously got the Vari shock bodies, so getting the shock bodies now isn't an issue. The Cougar 2 front arms, so obviously the Cougar 2 front arms, they're a swept back. I think it's about 10mm. I may be wrong, it's about 10mm that it shortens the wheelbase. I would probably say if you're going to go out there running it, you'll probably do what most people do and switch to the Mark 1 Cougar arms. It gives it a slightly longer wheelbase, make it a little bit more stable on the faster tracks that we're on now. Anything else? The shock towers, until I see one, I don't know if there's any difference, but looking at the pictures, it looks like the carbon weave's slightly different, so it won't pick up on the camera, but the shock towers, front and rear on the Cougar 2 Works, it was like a greeny colour. The Boss Cat Works chassis was done in the same material, and if you look at the Boss Cat Works chassis, you can definitely tell it is a different sort of, I don't know if it's a weave, but like it's got like a bit of a green tint into the colour. So on that, and the big thing is, and it's a little thing, but it's a big thing to a lot of us, the aero disc wheels. So your aero disc wheels, didn't think that through. So those are your aero disc wheels. They're a two-piece, so the little centre part clips on and then the wheel goes on. So we can get wheels nice and easy. So if you're doing a restoration on an original Cougar 2, you can get the correct now wheels for it. Upgrades, we'll come to that. So that was what I meant to say. So the standard transmission that comes in the Cougar 2 works, Schumacher have basically put it down to a 10.5 brushless limit. That's pretty much the norm for people that race vintage. So the Lakeland Classic, Revival, they all run to a 10.5 turn motor limit. A lot of other races, they'll either stick to the limit or they'll leave the motor open. The Pro transmission, you can get to fit in to that as well anyway. And obviously with the Pro transmission, you can drop down to a 6.5. So parts that you can get, the chassis. So the chassis, as it comes in the purple on the Schumacher website, this is all in pounds. I'm not going to convert it into dollars and everything else, but the chassis is $29.99, so a lot less than what you've been probably paid for an original. But again, an original one has a slightly different layout for the battery configuration. The Cougar 2 rear arms, these are $10.99. The rear hubs, I couldn't find the price of them, but they're going to be round about that again as well. Cougar 2 front arms, $9.99 again. The VariShock bodies, I could only find the front, so again, $9.99. Seems to be a lot of stuff at $9.99. The rear ones I couldn't find. The rear bulkhead, so the rear bulkhead is different to a Mark 1 Cougar. So you may not see it properly up on here, but you can see that you've got a 7-hole configuration in there. It's slightly thinner, so you can actually get a bolted through ball socket on there. So the rear bulkheads, which have been pretty much nigh impossible to find, £8.99. So again, we can get lots of spares to keep these cars running. Upgrades, there's, like I said, there's a list of upgrades. Front and rear anti-roll bars, the fronts are $14.99, the rear, again, that's $14.99. I don't know if it comes with different thicknesses for the roll bars. Again, I've not had much chance to have a look through. But I will put up a little screen grab of like the upgrades you can get. So you can get the alloy eccentrics. So the alloy eccentric that goes in there, you can get those upgraded. They've got an alloy bearing housing. It's black, I think, so it keeps this colour scheme, so you can keep black. And the front C-hub, I call these C-hubs. Again, you can get those in alloy. I don't know the prices on these, but whether you're going to fully deck out one, I don't know, but I'm probably going to end up going down that route. One thing that I did like, and I forgot about this, I've just remembered it now, is they do a front shock tower protector. So obviously those that race on carpet, you have to have a protector on it. It's normally this screw or nut sticking out, give a little bit of protection to that. But this carbon tower protector, it's shaped to the top of the actual shock tower, so it will help if it does end up going upside down, sliding down. It's going to give a little bit more protection up onto the front on there. There's the carbon brace that goes over the front, gives a little bit more support to the front end, and the actual steering arm itself that goes and holds on your track rods, you can get that again in carbon. Ball race steering, obviously it comes with the ball race steering, with it being the works. And that is pretty much it that I can see from what I've seen. But like I say, I will be getting one. I'll have my order in with Model Sport, and as soon as I get it, it will be built and it will be getting run. A lot of them are going to be getting run, I'd imagine. But if I get another one, I may get one just to sit on the shelf looking pretty. But yeah, that's it. So as soon as I get mine, we'll get it all unboxed, we'll get it built. And on the, I think it's the 28th of December, I'm going to Robin Hood Raceway for Tamiya Junkies meet, where I'm going to take a few cars that I want to run. I've got the J Halsley RC10. It's not a runner, it's going to be a shelfer, but I'm going to give it a little gentle run around on the indoor carpet track. But the Cougar 2 works, I'll have that. Hopefully we can go outside on the outdoor tracks. It'd be good to get on the outdoor tracks. really get to open it up. But if not, we'll give it a little run round inside. But that's it for me. Just a quick little shout out to Schumacher for releasing my ultimate two-wheel drive car. It was the very last two-wheel drive car I ever had before I gave up the hobby. So it's going to be nice to have one that's got a few less battle scars than this one. But this one will just sit on the shelf looking as pretty as it can. It may get a run out with it being original at one of the big events, but for now, that's all from me. So cheers for watching, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you soon.